Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So if you feel like your email marketing is just this chore, something that isn't really getting you the results you want, then you're going to want to stick around. We're about to break down the 4 key pillars that can turn your whole strategy into a serious high-return machine.
Okay, let's be real. It's the most frustrating thing, isn't it? You pour all this time and energy into crafting the perfect email. You hit send, and poof, it just seems to disappear into this digital black hole. So what's actually happening? Why are these great emails ending up ignored, deleted, or even worse, in the spam folder?
Well, here's the thing. The answer isn't some secret hack or a magic subject line formula. Nope. Real, lasting success in email is all about building on a solid structure. Today, we're diving into the 4 foundational pillars that really hold up every single great email campaign.
All right, let's start with the absolute bedrock. Pillar number 1, getting seen. Because if your emails don't even make it to the inbox in the first place, literally nothing else matters. This is all about mastering your deliverability.
So think about this for a second. What signal does your from address actually send? You see something like no reply at brand.com, and what does that scream? It screams, don't talk to us. It's a total engagement killer, and frankly, it can really hurt your deliverability. But what if you switch to a real name? Something like Jane at brand.com. Instantly, it feels more human. It feels like you're starting a conversation. And that is exactly what internet service providers love to see.
And that brings us to this really crucial idea of list hygiene. Listen to this quote from Apoorv Gupta, co-founder of Mailmodo. He says it will make or break your email marketing strategy. That's huge. And what he means is you have to regularly sunset, which is just a fancy way of saying remove, subscribers who aren't opening your stuff. Yeah, it might feel a little weird to shrink your list, but it sends a powerful signal to spam filters that you're only sending emails to people who genuinely want them.
Last thing for this pillar. If you're starting with a new domain, you absolutely cannot just blast out 10,000 emails on day 1. You have to warm it up to build that trust with the providers. So you start small, right? Send to your most loyal, engaged fans first. Then you gradually, slowly increase the number of emails you're sending. And finally, you can start increasing how often you send. It's this step-by-step process that builds a killer sender reputation and proves you're one of the good guys, not a spam.
So your email has made it. It has successfully landed in the inbox. That's awesome. But now the next battle begins, getting someone to actually open it. So let's move on to pillar 2 and talk about nailing your content and design. Picture a crowded inbox. It's just a sea of text, right? So how do you stand out? Well, there's this cool standard called BIMI. Basically, it lets you put your official brand logo right there in the inbox, next to your sender name. It's like a visual shortcut that helps build instant recognition and trust before your subscriber even thinks about clicking open. It's a small thing that makes a big difference.
Now, this is so important. Accessibility is not some optional extra. It's just part of good design. With over 1 billion people in the world living with some form of disability, making sure your emails are easy to read is totally non-negotiable. This means paying attention to simple things like having enough contrast between your text and the background. Following these kinds of guidelines makes your content available to everyone, and honestly, it just makes your brand look more professional and credible.
I absolutely love this analogy. Your subject line and your preview text, they really are like a digital handshake. They have to work together to make that amazing first impression. And you've got such a tiny space to do it in. Maybe 60 characters on a desktop, but it could be as little as 25 on a phone. The goal is simple. Be concise, be interesting, and earn that click.
Okay, so they opened your email. Yes, now what? You have to deliver the goods. Pillar 3 is all about getting smart. It's about moving away from those generic email blasts and shifting towards strategic, personalized messages that actually connect with people as individuals.
Sending the exact same email to every single subscriber on your list is just a recipe for disaster. It's lazy. This is where smart segmentation comes into play. You can and should divide your audience based on all kinds of cool data, like their age or gender, what they've bought before, how often they engage with you, or even where they live. This lets you stop shouting at everyone and start having a much more relevant conversation.
And if you want to see just how powerful this can be, check out this brilliant example from Uniqlo. So they segmented their users by location. Then they actually monitored the local weather. And get this, they sent promos for raincoats specifically to people in areas where it was raining. I mean, come on. That's not just personalized, it's genuinely helpful. That is the absolute gold standard of smart email marketing.
Okay, we've built a pretty solid structure now. Our emails are getting seen, they're getting opened, and people are engaging. But how do we really know if any of this is working? Pillar 4 is all about results, and that means focusing on the analytics that actually tell you the true story of your performance.
So, why are the old ways of measuring success kind of broken now? Well, a huge reason is Apple's Mail Privacy Protection, or MPP. And just look at how fast it's taken over. We went from about 6% of people using it in late 2021 to almost 50% just a few months later in early 2022. Wow! And here's the catch. Because MPP can preload email content in the background, it completely messes with your open rates. It makes it look like someone opened an email when they might not have. So that open rate you used to love, it's become inflated and honestly pretty unreliable.
And what that means is you've got to shift your focus to metrics that can't be faked. So instead of obsessing over opens, look at your click-through rate. That tells you who's actually interacting. Track your conversion rate. That tells you what's actually driving business. Or you can even use a more holistic metric like an email quality score. These are the numbers that really matter.
So, when you put it all together, getting seen, getting opened, getting smart, and getting results, you're doing so much more than just sending emails. You stop being a task doer and you become an engineer. You're engineering a valuable, cohesive experience for your audience. And that is how you build a truly loyal customer base.
So there you have it. You now have the playbook for email excellence. The only question is, what are you going to do with it? As you think about your own strategy, which one of these pillars needs the most work right now? What's the very first domino you're going to push to start making a real change?